Hello everyone, my name's Asher and I play the organ. Last year I made a video about how I went to Baylor University's Summer Organ Camp for the first time, and how it was an amazing experience for me. What I didn't do is get into the specifics of what we did and how everything worked, so this year I'd figured I'd do a long-form video detailing the various activities we participated in and all the fun I had, though the basic outline went about the same as last year, and if you want to see that video, I've left a link in the description. On Sunday I unpacked my stuff and set up my part of the dorm room at Pinland Hall. All 10 of us and our 2 counselors then walked over to the Jones Concert Hall, where Dr. Jens Korndorfer, who from now on I'm calling Dr. K, greeted us and talked about the camp and some guidelines. Immediately following that was of course a 1-hour practice period, then dinner at the Pinland Dining Hall, a free period which both this year and last was used for more practice, and finally a recital by Dr. K. This was the most boring day as we hadn't yet warmed up to each other, I guess. Monday was when all the fun stuff began. But of course first was breakfast at the cafeteria, where it didn't take long for everybody to discover the waffle irons, the syrups, the bakery, and all the other pretty decent food there. It was also there that my running joke of the week was founded, the Samsung washing machine song, and Mr. Gugletta, one of our counselors, having a thing for running jokes and not a clue what I would get myself into during the week, was very delighted. Don't worry about that too much, though. I'll come back to that later. Anyway, after that, starting at about 8, the bulk of the music happened. This is one of 2 time slots for practicing and for lessons, and my lesson was the very first at 9 a.m. This year's guest faculty was Mr. Chase Douthit from North Carolina, and he and Dr. K taught the lessons, each one being about 45 minutes long, and alternating between Truett Seminary and Jones Concert Hall every day. Sprinkled in that large time chunk were the 2 workshops, where Dr. K and Mr. Douthit discussed various topics pertaining to church music and playing in general. Lunchtime was at 12 in the cafeteria, nothing too interesting there, though despite the variety of options, my choice of food was pizza and pasta for every lunch and dinner. After lunch for the next 3 days was a jazz improvisation class taught by a man affectionately known to our camp as the other Dr. K, since I don't remember his actual name. Here's a short clip from that class. And after that was the final practice and lesson period for the day, which was followed by our designated special time, which today was a visit to the bookstore where we fooled around with some computers, because what else do you do when there's a mini Apple store? And after that was dinner, and then an open console opportunity at the Recital Hall 2 organ, built by Fratelli Ruffati, which was very special because it is one of the few organs anywhere in the United States tuned to quarter comma mean tone. If you want to learn more about that, check the link in the description. After that was a recital by the Baylor keyboard faculty in the Roxy Grove Hall, which mainly featured piano. Finally, it was time to head back to the dorms at about 9 p.m. Tuesday was about the same, but with the special time being at the Moody Library. This was a neat visit since the library hosts a very large collection of rare music materials, as well as a square piano, which the librarian was kind enough to let us fool around on a little. Today's open console time was at the Jones Concert Hall, the organ of which was built by the Petty Madden Company, and, fun fact, is the largest organ between Dallas and Austin. Here's a short clip from that. The evening's recital featured current Baylor students, including a few counselors from the concurrently running piano camp, and one of our own counselors, Mr. Gugletta. Wednesday was slightly different, as the special time was spent at the Student Life Center for a nice swim, as well as a mini workout session. I didn't swim though, mainly because I had a very important composition to work on. Today's open console was at Roxy Grove, home of the campus's other Ruffati organ, and quite possibly the most bombastic 32-foot contraband and 8-foot trumpet anywhere. I say that because it is in a smaller space than the Jones organ, but is louder. We also participated in a true masterpiece of musical and choreographical experimentation. We then rushed back to the McCurry building for our movie night, where we watched the 2025 live-action remake of How to Train Your Dragon. Thursday was, as I called it, the day of creation and experimentation. There's this one kid who had previously been mixing all kinds of different drinks to make new ones, and this was the day where he made the greatest amount of those drinks. And just as a side note, they were pretty good. This was also when a couple of other kids started experimenting with making homemade cane sauce, and they made some pretty convincing stuff. That was also pretty good. Anyway, today's highlight was getting to build an Organ Kids kit. If you've never heard of Organ Kids, it's basically a small pipe organ kit that's designed to introduce kids to the basics of organ building and how a mechanical organ actually works. It's a whole video in itself, so I'm planning on releasing another video soon on the specifics of how that all works. For now, here's a couple of short clips of us playing around with it.
The calcont is doing is looking at the reservoir. As this rises, you just want to kind of keep it in the middle. It'll go up and down, but your pumping rate is to keep it.
Do you get to pull these?
Well, put your fingers in
This evening's recital time was actually spent at the Pat Neff Hall, where we split into 2 groups of 5 and had the chance not only to see the 48-bell concert-sized carillon, but also to play it. And yes, I played the Samsung washing machine song. After that, we ventured into the top of the tower to see the actual bells and get awesome views of Waco. Friday was the last full day of camp. During the morning practice time, we each had 20 minutes in the Jones Hall to prepare stops and rehearse for Saturday's recital. In the middle of that time block, we had an open console with Baylor's portative organ. We played hymns as well as a few goofy songs. Here's some videos of that. After lunch, we had our dress rehearsal. I don't know why they called it a dress rehearsal, given that we were all wearing our camp shirts. Anyway, there was one camper who had to leave before the Saturday morning recital, so her performance was right after the rehearsal. Immediately following the rehearsal was a set of 2 workshops. For these, we split into groups of 5. The first one was an early music workshop led by Dr. Doctor, also known as Dr. Squared by her students, where we had the chance to play on 3 different harpsichords, a clavichord, basically a Baroque practice instrument, a virginal, and a forte piano, which is the precursor to a modern piano. There was a pedal harpsichord in a different room, but it was not featured in the workshop. The next one was an organ tuning workshop led by Dr. K, and we talked about the basics of organ tuning. Stuff like which stops to use as tuning references, how to find the pipe you're tuning, and how to actually tune the pipe. After that, we had dinner, and then our ice cream social with Dr. Pepper floats and drumsticks. Someone then decided to initiate a round with the quiet game, which ran through Mr. Douthat's concert. By that point, the quiet game had lasted almost 2 hours, and so the top 3 were chosen instead of a single winner. But anyway, it was a fantastic day, and a great way to end the week. Saturday was the day of the main recital. After eating breakfast, warming up, and playing a little bit of hacky sack, we each had 7 minutes to get situated and ensure the organ was properly set up, very closely followed by the actual recital. It went very well, and I'm planning on uploading my performance pretty soon. Afterwards, we went back to the dorms to collect our stuff, and then we said our goodbyes and parted ways. It was such a blast. I learned a lot through lessons and workshops, saw a lot through visits to all the different instruments, and enjoyed myself a lot through recreational events, music making, and interesting conversations with my fellow campers. And I came away with a better knowledge of my music and more friends my age who play the organ. This in particular is such a great thing as an organist, since there are fewer and fewer of us out there these days, so knowing people with that specific passion and being in close contact with them outside of camp is very encouraging in my musical endeavors. In conclusion, I would readily suggest that if you are a teenager and you play the organ, there is no better way to spend a week of your summer than at the Baylor Organ Camp. You get to make friends, learn new things, and do lots of cool stuff. If you liked this video, I would encourage you to tap the little thumbs up button down below, and if you want to see more organ-related videos from me in the future, consider subscribing. That's all I have for now. See you in the next one.